Orianthi and welcome to the Big Five on Premier Guitar. My favorite guitar, well, it's kind of like picking your favorite pet or favorite child. I have a couple of them. That would have to be, well, my brand new model here, PRS, Custom 24 Signature. The Lotus Bloom, it's absolutely beautiful. And the color on it, a lot of people have asked because it's pretty vibrant and intense, was actually after my first Jimi Hendrix T-shirt I used to wear when I was like 10 years old. And my family were very embarrassed to walk with me because it was very bright and colorful. But this guitar turned out glorious and it truly plays like a dream. I got to tell you, they're the most comfortable guitars to play. They're so versatile. The necks just fit perfectly in my hands. And I can, you know, when you think of something to play and you can just play it, because the ease of that with a guitar, the connection for me is was pretty immediate with the PRS guitars. I was very, very lucky to get one when I was like 11 years old. It was a secondhand one from 1986. I still have it and it's super heavy and I love it. I don't take this for granted. I look at it every day like a kid going, really? Like I have a signature PRS? Like it's pretty surreal. This one here is another one, which I have. I've had this one for about, gosh, I think about 10 years now. This one's based off it, the Lotus Bloom. And I play this one a lot. You'll see it on YouTube and everything because it's just my favorite. These are both custom 24s. What's modified about them is the pickups. I definitely work with Paul on kind of molding a sound with them. It's very different from the other custom stock standard 24s. They kind of just have a little more bottom end to them. And you know, when you want that real bite, so when you go to the bridge pickup, like you switch that, it really cuts, kind of like that Freddie King kind of, you know what I mean? That Stevie Ray kind of thing. When you want to dig in, it really digs in. It's got the warmth and then the wild cat sound. So this J200 Gibson, which I have here, which is quite a large guitar. I don't want to hit them here. But this one, I went to Montana and picked it out. And the color is really intense. I mean, when I walked into the factory, I didn't know what color I was going to go with, to be honest with you. I was like thinking white, maybe, you know, I was like, I'm not sure. And then I saw like, they had like this red one they were doing. I think it was like a one-off or something. And the color was just there. And I was like, I said to Ray and Robbie Johns that helped me create this. I said, no, red. I want red with black binding and lotus flowers and crystals. I want crystals on it. And then put a 345 neck on a J200. Very obnoxious of me, you know, to go in and basically say, can you just glorify and make the J200 like this very crazy looking situation with the electric guitar neck on it. So the playability of it as an electric guitar player, you just can pick it up and you can play really fast on it. And the sound is still the J200 sound, right? Which is full and everything. And then we modified the pickup again. So it's got a lot of mid-range, so it cuts through. And it's got a built-in compressor as well. And basically you can play any like corporate show or outdoor gig by yourself. The sound man could be drunk or high, passed out, whatever. You're still going to sound good, basically. So I'm always frustrated with acoustic guitar pickups because they always sound like tin cans. And you know, when you turn them up and they hurt your ears or they don't sound full when you're by yourself. So that was a big thing for me. And I was beyond thrilled and honored once again, like a company like Gibson would follow this crazy Australian down a rabbit hole like that. Because I went into the showroom in LA and I was like, I picked up, I think it was Bradley Cooper's guitar that he used for A Star Is Born, funny enough. They had the model there. I started playing it. I'm like, because I went to Montana, got the whole situation, you know, figured out. Then I picked up that guitar and I'm like, can we fix this neck on my guitar? And it was so obnoxious. And they're like, oh, we're going to have a discussion about that. And so they talked about it and they were like, actually, it's doable. There's the Island album. I'm going to have to say Sacred Fire, Santana, live in Mexico. There was something very magical about that performance. The energy of it all with the band, the way Carlos played, his instincts are amazing. I mean, his, you know, the way he solos and incorporates different melodies into, you know, different solos, not just like shred fest, which he can do, right? But he can play really fast. But it's the melody points and it's the tone and the beautiful atmosphere of the audience there. It was just, I don't know, just something that I wore out as a kid. When I remember playing along to Santana, it was a VHS at the time, so I kept on pausing it, so it was all worn. But I would try to learn, like, you know, from Guijarra to Samba Party to, and my Australian accent does not do these Spanish songs, well, names justice. So Europa and you know, Angels All Around Us, and No One to Depend On. All those songs. Open Invitation is a song I covered it quite a few times, and you know, the riffs and everything, and just, I don't know, the feeling of the whole show as a kid had me very inspired. I think the competition aspect of it all. I think when, you know, who can play the fastest or who's good, who's bad, it's a form of expression. I mean, we're not athletes here. We're not standing on a podium where, you know, there's first place, there's bronze, there's gold, there's, you know, silver. It's literally, we're all expressing ourselves through this beautiful instrument, endless possibilities. Everyone has a different fingerprint, sound, tone. And I just think that it's a beautiful thing to be able to pick up an instrument and express yourself. And it's not about competition. So my biggest pet peeve in that is like, oh, that person sucks, or that person is terrible. That's how they're expressing themselves as, you know, whether it be an artist or they do it as a hobby. It's just a form, it's an outlet. I think that needs to stop. I think in all genres, I mean, whether you're a singer or a drummer too, that probably happens. But I think the guitar world is kind of, they can be real assholes, especially, you know, what I've experienced. Like I get a lot of haters for sure. Like they go to town. Like you know, something comes out or whatever it is, I put a song out or whatever is on YouTube, or I put a clip out there on TikTok. Is actually the worst. I just started on that platform. Oh my God, they're ruthless there. I was like, wow, really? Like I need some therapy sessions now, you know? But it was quite something. I'm going, wow. Like, I don't understand the mentality of getting on someone's page and saying how much you dislike them. Like, I've never been that person. So I don't know the mentality. I guess they're just unhappy people, or something's going on in you know, within they need to fix, because you shift your energy somewhere else. You know what I mean? You put it to something that you like. I would essentially go to a page that I like, then, oh my God, I really hate this. Like, you know, like why? Like, I don't know, life's too short. So, I mean, now I've gotten older, and perspective of that is different. It still hurts. I don't think that I'm like numb to it or anything like that, because of course, and we're all human. But I think that ultimately it's just, there must be very unhappy individuals. Which guitar hero of mine shocked my fans? When I was younger, my dad, I mean, he listened to a lot of the Shadows. It had a lot of reverb going on, and the Music Mans, and my dad had the whole situation going on with the Mosrite guitars, and I think that's what they played, and these Japanese things, and then the red Fender. He was very much into that kind of surf guitar music for a minute, and so I got into that. My secret weapon, togetherness. So whoever that you're working with, you find harmony before you step on stage together, right? You come together and you go, we're about to perform a show. It's not a prayer. It's more like a togetherness. I wouldn't say speech, but kind of thing we sort of do, where you just feel at peace and at one with everyone. We're about to do this. Same with going into the studio, where you have that discussion with the producer and the musicians before we start cutting, where you just want to be all like on the same wavelength. But I think ultimately it's about not just talking, but really communicating. And it's like, you know what I mean? And really making sure that everyone's on the same page and everyone's like just happy, because we're all individuals. We all have, as artists, we all have very different minds. And, you know, just talking things through, I think, is really important. And so things don't get like weird, or, you know, no one feels like that they're not getting the attention they deserve or something like that, because egos come into play. And I think the best thing to do is to let everyone talk it out like a family situation, because ultimately it is that, you know, we're all here to serve people as musicians. So you want to talk things through and make sure everyone's happy.